You got it, Matt.
And it's hilarious that I'm interrupting the show here again because last time we started the show with me saying technical difficulties, and we seem to have run into another technical difficulty with the audio not working. I've been informed of. So I've been
already?
talking. Yeah, I've been talking to myself here for a little bit, and y'all have just been miming. So that's been nice. But I got about half of that plug in. So just shout out your Twitter handle one more time. This is what happens when you do a live show.
That's fantastic. At DominateFF on Twitter. Like I said, I'm there all the time. I was just tweeting when you asked me to, say hi to everybody. I'm a fantasy analyst on Fantrax, and I'm also featured in the Fantasy Football Black Book for the last 2 years now. I think Joe will have me back this year, I hope. But yeah, Joe Pisapia and a bunch of guys that are very talented in the industry. And I was just saying that I've got some special projects in the works for 2020, and I'm excited about that.
Fantastic.
I made a funny joke too, but it's not going to be funny the second time.
Do
So I'm not
it
gonna
again,
say
Matt.
His-
Do it
his-
again.
Funny joke was it involves medical equipment, and I said, "That's so funny. It's medical equipment. That's right." And that's an inside joke. You guys,
And that's hilarious. That shows
You have to be in
up
the
on
VIP chat to get that one.
that's right.
Welcome
Yes.
to CSD
Is it a
Scrubs.
Patreon? If you have a Patreon going,
Yeah, you can join us on the Patreon page and the Discord server as well. There's
I thought
a
I
link
made that.
down
I thought I
below.
made that up.
No.
We have a
and,
VIP chat. It's a thing.
we're starting a new podcast as well, CSD Scrubs. It will air on Thursdays, and we're strictly talking medical equipment and different procedures for brain surgery.
It's basically
Whoa.
a Scrubs reboot, is what I'm thinking. We got coming on here, but not
Yeah,
Scrubs.
pretty much. I would say we copied a lot of it. And we got Mello joining in as always here in the chat. What's up, Mello? Are you doing good? Today we have
hello.
a truly special episode for you. But as always, feel free to interrupt at any point in the show. In the live chat, we are here to serve. We've already shout out the Patreon page, but we would also like for you to hit that like button. Please share on social media to help us get the word out there. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and check out more exclusive content on csdfantasy.com.
Like,
But now, to some news.
To the news.
That was like a drop right there. That was fantastic.
There is a drop going on as well.
Am I talking
I'm on
over
a-
it?
You ever listen to the Trade Addicts podcast with Dynasty Outhouse? They don't, and Brian Hart, they don't even do little drops. They just have one of them come in like one of the movie preview guys, like the news, and he just says it like that. It's fantastic.
That is fantastic. Welcome to the news.
Oh, I'm going to record that and have that be the new drop.
I mean, if you really want me to do it, I mean, I can do it. I can kind of do the movie voice a little bit.
$100 an hour.
Yeah, do you charge for that?
Coming this summer. Just kidding. This minute. The news.
Get on
Was that
Fiverr
pretty
and
good?
you start charging people. $5.
Okay.
One
Fiverr it is, buddy. I'm doing it.
one sentence, $5. Bam.
The movie voice for much cheaper.
Here we have Nate.
Yep.
This is our only sound drop we got. It's Nick saying
Uncomebackable.
uncomebackable.
And come back.
You can't hear it, but I hear it.
I'm gonna bring this up in every episode.
Every episode, uncomebackable.
Emmanuel Sanders, he had an injury that was uncomebackable, and he came back.
Would you say he needed medical equipment?
He did.
Ah.
I Nate for it too, but I don't know whatever came about that.
I was gonna make the worst transition into a really sad topic with the medical equipment, but I'm just gonna skip that and say hi to John McGlynn. I don't really know how to pronounce that, but what's up, John? Welcome to the chat. You can interrupt at any point if you have any questions. The news are going to be super brief today. I only really have one thing, and I just want to say that I have no words for what happened to Kobe and his daughter and the other people who were on board on the helicopter. It's been a couple of really sad days for, I feel like, the entire world. I'm a huge soccer fan, and I know he grew up in Milan and he supports the same club as me. And they asked to wear black bands on their arms to show their support for his family. And I think that shows just how great the reach was for him, how many people he touched throughout his career and his life. But it's been a few really tough days. and all support and thoughts and prayers go out to his family, and hope they can stay strong in a time of need. But with tying in more to football, I saw that like somebody like George Kittle was talking about it and praising Kobe in like, oh, he's the reason I started football. So that ties into a little bit of the Super Bowl news going on. And they've been running this Jimmy Garoppolo soundbite all week. I wanted to get your take on it. About the text he got from Tom Brady. Is this important at all that he got a text from a former teammate saying get it done? Matt, how do you feel about that?
I didn't think they were going to win before the tweet, but after the tweet, I think they're probably still not going to win.
That's fantastic. Hashtag analysis. That's beautiful. That's good stuff.
That's about it.
Nate, how do you feel about it? Is there any newsworthiness into this like conversation?
No. I mean, Tom Brady never really I think it's pretty well known that he never really embraced the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo was the backup quarterback there. He had no plans to retire anytime soon. He wondered why he was even there in the first place. I mean, is it a decent thing to do? Send a text and say, hey, good luck, man, go get him? Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic, but I don't think it's going to have any impact whatsoever on what Jimmy G ends up doing in the Super Bowl. I'm sure he's getting texts from literally everybody in the world that has his number, and probably much more important people to him, if I'm being honest, that he's probably taken to heart when it comes to the Super Bowl. So I don't mean to sound like
confirmation Tom Brady actually knew he was his backup. Maybe this is like one of his PR people sent the tweet. Like you gotta send it. You gotta send it.
Yeah. No, I mean I think he probably did it. He's a good dude, but again, it has no bearing, no impact on what's going to happen in the Super Bowl.
I can see Tom going home to his wife and be like, he's not better looking than me, right? He's not. I got all
handsome
the rings.
Jimmy G.
I got all the rings.
I think Tom Brady has the world by the tail, and he's doing okay.
Absolutely.
pretty okay. He can't even wear all his rings on one hand.
That was a great segue, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. You go from Kobe to George Kittle to Jimmy Garoppolo to a text from Tom Brady. That was pretty impressive.
That's kind of what I do. I like to take
and then I take
like
its way off the rails.
I was gonna say I like to take something like medical equipment, and then just turn that into a beautiful surgery.
So can I call you Segway from now on? I'm just gonna call you Segway.
Segway is fine.
That's your nickname.
Speaking of Giselle, how many times are going to show Pat Mahomes' girlfriend during the Super Bowl? Over under 2.
Ooh, let's write this down. Let's write it down as a prop bet. Matt, what was it? Over under 2?
I would say probably 1.5 is probably a better over under.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
You got 1.5.
So you going? What are you going, Matt?
Over. They can't help it.
Over.
I'm gonna go the over, and I'm gonna say 2. So I'm glad you didn't just stick with the 2 because I think they'll probably show her 2 times. But she's highly annoying. I'm sorry.
I have no idea who she is.
Oh my God! Look up a video, and it'll literally burn holes in your ears.
Yes.
Oh no, then. Oh.
They thought we were blah 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 because she's on the team now. Like I don't know if you guys know this. Like she's part of the team, and she says we were doing this and blah blah blah, and you got to watch it, dude.
Didn't his ex-girlfriend also? She was like something real big too, wasn't she? Oh no, was that Drew Lock's ex-girlfriend?
Yes, she was the daughter of the Chiefs owner, right?
Owner, yeah, okay. I knew there was something there. Never mind. Moving on.
Nick, over under on the girlfriend thing. Before we got to get all the stuff in here. Yeah.
Over for sure. Both times will be mouth wide open, screaming.
Oof.
Amen. That is fantastic.
Nick, over
mouth never closed on screen.
No, never.
I mean, I really could have tied that into Jimmy G as well if I wanted. If y'all remember the story when he went to the 49ers with mouth wide open. Okay, this just went way deep.
Does this involve Aaron Andrews in some fashion?
I don't know who that is.
Aaron Andrews? Oh, he laid the Mac on her.
I'm going over as well. I don't even know who this is, but I feel like I need to go with the grain on this as I don't have any statistics for it. I don't want to speak on it too much. But definitely, she's going to be on screen over.
Speaking of Drew Lock, though, real quick, the motherfucker moved up in my rankings after seeing his rap on the bench. Like, I was all about him just getting down on the bench, rapping his heart. And then there was another.
I missed this.
What?
Yeah, what is this?
No, hold on. Is that a joke? Are you joking that you didn't see it? Because it was
I
retweeted
swear.
maybe 1,700 million times.
by
When?
me.
I have not seen this, dude. No way.
And
It's
then there's
fantastic.
of him
They have
doing-
him on the bench, like freestyle rapping, and someone actually dubbed the song that he
Go
was
Nick.
doing over it,
Oh, Nick.
and it went like it. He did a good job.
I think it was playing on the.
So
music
Nick, you
in the
tweeted
stadium.
this? Okay. I'll check that out. Not now because we're recording stuff. So I'll check that out later. That's
No, you can take a second. No.
fantastic. Okay, yeah, guys, just give me a minute. Let me check out this video real quick.
It's dope as shit. And Drew Lock went up a little bit in my rankings for it.
Know how we
Lock.
could possibly have done this show without you guys having seen Pat Mahomes' girlfriend or this video of Drew Lock. I mean, how are we even doing the show right now?
It's like
Yeah,
we never watched
we're
football.
not in tune with just everyday life. I guess I don't know what it is.
It's
Yeah.
actually Drew
I
Lock
think that's what I'm
was actually unavoidable for at least 2 days there.
Drew
Like,
Lock-
you know, if you just the 2 days, then he missed it, but it was like everywhere.
It must have been the 2 craziest days of my life.
Was this during Christmas or something?
It had to have been during the medical equipment
It was
convention.
week 17.
Yeah, week 17. Yeah, I was too busy winning.
Oh,
Winning.
I was too
You're the
busy
only one
winning.
in the week 17 league cup.
Yeah, that was so much bullshit. That was. I must have brought that up like 7 times on the show that I was pissed about it, and then I went and won the freaking league. That was. But Drew Lock, I gotta bring this up. So I posted a question on
time out. Are we
Twitter.
going in a rabbit hole right now? Is that what's happening?
That's what's happening.
Rabbit hole.
Hashtag brand.
All sorts of carrots everywhere.
Carrots. Where's
I'll
the
talk about
carrot
carrots later.
But
Don't you worry about it.
I posted this question on Twitter, asking just randomly out there, like, who is a player that's going to surprise people in 2020? And I can't remember who it was. James, I think, said that Deshaun Hamilton was going to be big. Do y'all believe that anybody but Cortland Sutton is going to be viable? I'm sorry, I'm dying about those freaking emojis posted up.
Deshaun Hamilton. Oh.
Deshaun Hamilton, is he
What
going?
is this one? I don't even know what this one is. I just put
It's
up
a sarcastic slow clap.
I'm really going to have to put a
It
ban.
reminds me of Not Another Teen Movie, is what it reminds me of.
It's going to be 3 emojis per person per show from this point.
Oh,
Oh, you got to get one of carrots like blasting into the air, like
That's
fruit,
what
like
when
fruit
we hit
ninja.
Would you want any other pass catchers on the Broncos? Are y'all that drunk?
Noah Fant. Noah Fant. Does he count? He's not a wide
He-
receiver,
he
but
counts.
he's
he's a pass
counts.
catcher. That
He
counts.
But
So, yes.
Hamilton?
Cortland Sutton's pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, I
but
gotta go-
besides him.
I think you said besides Sutton. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, I have to go with my cousin Deshaun. You know what I mean? So naturally, I'm gonna go with Deshaun Hamilton. You know, he's my aunt's cousin's brother's cousin. So that's
Get it, people? Because his name is Nate Hamilton.
Yeah, my last
Yeah.
name's Hamilton. For all you guys who don't know who I am,
On Tinder. No.
I'm married, happily married with a 4-year-old child. I don't know what is Tinder. I have no idea what that is.
DK Metcalf's body, Nate's face, and it says
I
Deshaun
think
Hamilton.
It's an app that you use to start like a fire when you're out camping.
Yes.
We have a couple of comments here in the chat. We got one from Fantasy Football Unlimited, and this is just a shout out. He or she is enjoying this immensely. Great stuff, fellas. # dominating. Hi Nate, I'm a big fan.
Wow. Hey. Well,
Ooh.
thank you. FFU. I like that.
And,
It's fantastic.
and John agrees with me that Hamilton is not the answer. And I'm pretty sure he's talking about Deshaun and not Nate.
Well, I'm
guy
definitely
outta
not
here,
the
man.
answer.
Deshaun Hamilton is definitely the answer, though. Like a couple years ago, I got to meet him up close in person at the Senior Bowl, and he was unbelievable. You watched him practice, and he just went harder than everyone else there was. Like it's his He can catch the ball, I guess is what I want to say, better than a lot of players in the NFL. And if given an opportunity with an actual quarterback, he is going to succeed immensely. I mean, think of his quarterbacks. He's had Joe Flacco. Who was last year's? Trevor Siemian, Chad Kelly. I don't know who's starting for Denver last year.
Name them.
No one knows. But he hasn't had any. Now you got Drew Lock starting to come up. He's got a whole offseason. He was also pretty good at the Senior Bowl. I think these two are going to connect and find a nice little connection throughout the season. I like DaeSean Hamilton, depending on where you draft him. But for Dynasty, I'm all about him for sure.
Are you saying that you definitely believe in Drew Lock then?
I like Drew Lock a lot. Yeah, buddy.
That's Courtland Sutton right there.
Yes, that's my guy. If y'all didn't get on the Courtland Sutton hype train back in 2018 with me, late 2018, y'all made a huge mistake, and you should be on there by now. That's
yeah, but now trying to get Courtland Sutton's going to be way too much.
Oh, he's going to be expensive.
You're going to overspend for him. Now you're going to be spending top dollar for him in comparison to Hamilton, when Hamilton's going to be the guy who has less coverage, better routes, better route running, and is going to get the ball more often in a lower atmosphere.
Better route running than Sutton. Sutton is fantastic, though.
DaeSean's the fucking man in route running, I promise you. I'm not saying Courtland's bad. I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form. But I am saying that DaeSean in the middle of the field is going to light it up next year.
Let's toss it back to an old segment of ours called Nick's Picks, and let's see what y'all say about that. So I'm going to toss out, we're going to have DaeSean Hamilton, and I'm going to put him against another player and see who you'd rather have wide receivers. And it's going to be, I want somebody like wide receiver 2-ish, let's say like Jamison Crowder or DaeSean Hamilton. Nick?
DaeSean Hamilton.
Matt?
Crowder.
Nate?
Hamilton by far.
Hold on. We are talking PPR, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crowder. I'll take his 20 catches for 20 yards. That's fine.
Yeah, but Crowder's just going this way, and I think Hamilton's he's only got up from here. He's got another year in the system. He's still a young dude. I mean, I think he's got a lot to prove, and I really do believe he's going to be in the conversation this year.
No, I actually don't disagree with what you guys are saying in all seriousness, but what's his name? Robbie's leaving town. Sam Darnold's still fine. Jamison is a target machine, so I don't expect him to be flashy. He's not even going to be what Jarvis Landry used to be, but he's going to get a ton of targets. So in PPR, I still like him, but that's just because, he's going to get all the targets.
Maybe a safer floor.
He's only had double-digit target. He had double-digit targets 3 times last year. That is not like a target. His
I don't think you can fully judge the season by what went on there with the quarterback, though.
No.
I can see that, especially with Darnold come in. That is when he had his time. I mean, all right, I get what you're saying, but I will take Hamilton.
Okay,
I see what you're
2 more real quick. Calvin Ridley or Hamilton? Nate?
Oh, that is a tough one. That is tough. Man.
Can I stop? Can I jump in real quick?
Go right ahead, Nick. Yeah, sure.
Are we talking redraft or are we talking dynasty?
Redraft.
Okay, just wanted to confirm, but go ahead.
Redraft, I have to go Ridley. I have to go Ridley next year.
Could you take? I mean, you have to go Ridley in both, wouldn't you? Just for upside. I mean, today that upside question with Ridley is still there, even though he's disappointing. I think you got to go Ridley, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
I would most definitely also take Ridley in both too. I did just want to clarify for future questions, but yes.
And for the audience.
Exactly. So everyone going Ridley.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Last one. Deontay Johnson.
Audience.
Slow clap.
Hamilton.
Hold on. What was this question?
Deontay Johnson.
Oh, Hamilton.
Oh, wow. I'm alone on that Deontay Johnson island.
I like Deontay, but I don't like the quarterback situation. Is Big Ben coming back?
Yes,
how long is it going to last?
I just need him for 1 year.
What?
I just need him for 1 year, Big Ben.
Yeah.
If you
could
look
have said the same thing about drafting Juju in the first round and James Conner in the second round last year. Oh, I just need 1 year out of Big Ben, and he's gone in week 1. That's what you're getting out of Big Ben. You don't know. He's injury prone. He always has been.
But I'm not paying anything for Deontay.
You're not really paying anything for Deshaun Hamilton either, though.
True.
Yeah.
Fair.
And James Washington, I think, at least still has a chance to step up in Pittsburgh. I love him. I don't like him. I'm not taking him, but he has a chance to step up.
Yeah, I mean, when we're talking about all these comparisons, we're honestly talking about upside, right? Who do we believe has the higher upside in these guys? We're not talking about safe floors unless we're talking full PPR and Crowder, which I kind of get that, but I just don't see Crowder continuing to go up in this league. I think he's going the other way, unfortunately. So I think Hamilton just has the better upside out of those two guys. And Calvin Ridley, I mean, he's got Matt Ryan, and he's got Julio to detract from, his obviously he's double covered and everything. So Calvin Ridley is in a better position there over Hamilton.
I have a video coming out in a few weeks where I analyze Ridley a little deeper, and I have him taking a huge step forward next year. I think this was his sophomore slump, and now it's time for a breakout year with him in year 3.
Mello in the chat asked, "What team does Matt root for?"
Oh yeah,
do I seem like I'm biased or something?
No, I use
Jets. Maybe are you a Jets dude?
No, I'm Packers. But I just wonder why he was asking. I'm just curious why the question.
We like
because you have a Mets hat on, I think.
It's good to get that in though. Nate, what team do you support? Because you have Titans, you have Saints, Houston behind you. That looks like a face of a Browns fan.
I know the answer. This answer.
Go ahead, Matt.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, it's the Cowboys.
Welcome to the show. Can we make you a staple here?
Well, okay. What you're not seeing on camera is a Dak Prescott signed picture here and a Byron Jones signed mini helmet. So, yeah, all my Cowboy stuff is actually off camera, which is kind of funny.
But his favorite player is Todd Gurley, everybody. That's his favorite.
It would appear. I've got a Funko Pop of Todd Gurley as well. Which, guys, no, okay. Let's go down a rabbit hole for a second. We want to talk about Funko Pops for a second. I own 3 NFL Funko Pops. Are you ready? Le'Veon Bell with the Steelers, Dez Bryant, and then Todd Gurley. So before the season even started, I said I own those 3. I was upset of how things went with Le'Veon Bell and went with Dez Bryant, and I said I'm a little worried about Todd Gurley. And so my Funko Pop collection is proving that it's a curse. So I've stopped buying NFL players.
When's your birthday?
August 3rd.
I'm going to send you a Khalil Mack one.
If you guys want an NFL player to fail, I mean, the Funko Pop, the guys, they're like $10 or less. They're like super cheap. Buy me presents. I don't mind it. DM me. I'll give you my address. You can send it to me. I guarantee they will fail in 2020.
So this is like the unknown version of the Madden curse.
It's absolutely, unknown, very, very unknown.
So I'm going to blame you for ruining my favorite player on the Dallas Cowboys.
Dez Bryant. God, he was my favorite too. So right there with you, buddy. Yeah.
Dude, you destroyed my dreams. And something that destroys dreams or make them happen is the Super Bowl. So let's get into the topic of the day. And Nate, if you don't know, there will be a little bit of a silence in 1 second.
Hey guys, what's the Super Bowl?
we can't get through
it. You're talking over the the drop. I'm trying to be kind.
I whispered it. No one could hear me.
Super Bowl is a larger than average bowl that people put soup in rather than a bread bowl.
Oh, funny story about that.
Really?
Yeah.
No, he's got everything. This guy. I love it.
This show is hilarious. So growing up in Sweden, you have subtitle when you're watching a show, and I'm watching Friends, and they're talking about the Super Bowl, but the Swedish translation is literally a big bowl. Like, I'm watching the big bowl tonight. Like a bowl of cereal is the translation. I'm super confused. A few years later, as you learn English more and more, they're like, oh, somebody just translated the shit out of this. And that's what can happen when you grow up in a country that does not speak English as their first language.
Man, you had it. That's tough, dude. Like you don't even know the name of the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl until you like learn.
Well, think about it. If you didn't know it, it's kind of a ridiculous name.
Yeah. Imagine
What are we doing? We're playing for the Big Fork today.
Like
I agree.
45-year-old translator sitting there and just getting a script and like Super Bowl. I guess it's a big bowl.
Does The big bowl.
And then we had Fantasy Football Unlimited again. What sort of appearance fee does Nate Hamilton even charge? You guys have gone big time.
I usually auction that, so I'm worth whatever the market says I'm worth.
You
That's
don't
what I
like
say.
what we paid for him.
Yeah, I mean, you guys paid top dollar, so.
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Ooh, thanks, Nick. I appreciate you, buddy.
Gotcha.
We have some interesting topics to cover today, though, with the Super Bowl. We have
Time
a
out.
couple-
I do this for free because I'm not an asshole. I just want to say that real quick.
This guy was like,
That sounds like
Yeah,
it's
it's
directed at somebody, to be
Yeah.
honest.
It's gonna.
Why? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Do people charge?
There's,
I don't mean to offend anybody.
there's a
I
bill
go
coming
for
in my
not like
mailbox.
right here.
Are we live? Oh, man.
There's a bill showing up. Nate Hamilton, LLC.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought he was just being nice and wanted to talk football. No, no.
Well, now you're putting ideas in my head.
I'm glad if you haven't watched the show before, Nate, which I know you watch
I
every
have.
episode.
I have every single one.
You
No,
kind
I
of get
watch
the
it.
feel for what happens on these shows that we kind of go off the deep end and down the
Off
rabbit
the
hole.
Rails would be a great name. Just saying.
Damn it, that is a good name.
Wait, I didn't hear it. What'd you say?
Off the Rails. I mean, that's well, Keaton and I, when we do our Fantasy Tilt podcast, we actually have a side podcast called Off the Rails, and where we don't talk fantasy football at all. And so it's a completely different topic where it's like it could be our favorite comic book villains or our top horror movies of all time kind of thing. So
I mean, so that's kind of a copy of this because we spent 10 minutes trying to figure out the career of Leonardo DiCaprio.
yeah, I mean, it's
another
basically
show.
it's that we're completely off the rails the whole time. And believe it or not, I host that one because that was Keaton's genius idea of like, hey, if we're gonna do another podcast, do you want to host since it's called Off the Rails? I'm like, yeah, I suck at hosting. That's perfect. Let's do it.
Nate,
So-
what are your thoughts on What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Oh man, it's my favorite movie of all time.
You
Is it a
haven't heard of
movie? I'm
either?
sorry.
No, thank you, and not just me, but somebody who is fantastic to watch and not who's eating Gilbert Grape is freaking George Kittle and Travis Kelce. They're
Thank
freaking
you.
amazing
If George
to watch.
Kittle wanted to eat Gilbert Grape, he would.
George Kittle can eat anybody.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
right.
Eats
hear about
Gilbert
George
grapes
Kittle?
every day.
George Kittle looks like what's his name from Harry Potter. The freaking not what's his name? Not what's the little alien dude?
What?
Dobby?
Dobby?
But what's his like other one? The other one.
Malfoy?
What?
No. The other
What's
Dobby.
Harry Potter?
What's it's a comic.
Can we just
book.
explain that first?
It's a comic book. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't
but-
offend people, Nick. Don't
just
offend people. Don't
I'm
alienate.
offended. That's just I just do it by nature.
Don't
I'm sorry.
alienate our viewer base by removing all the Harry Potter fans.
Alien Nate? Did you just say?
Ooh.
I
Nate
just- it's-
skate.
It's a habit.
He's just trademarking stuff as we go.
That's my burner account. Alienate.
Jack in the chat just says Chiefs or Niners. We're never talking about football.
Yeah,
Just-
I'm
Okay,
gonna.
sorry.
There's
Let's go.
not
ahead.
gonna be any
Everybody's watching this
segment
for
now.
fantasy. Let's go.
No
we're
segment.
half hour into a Super Bowl show and have yet to talk about the Super Bowl.
Let's
I've
talk-
tried
let's
to
talk
mention
football.
it. I've tried to mention it a few times. I'm not
I
even
know,
gonna
I'm
do a
sorry.
segment now. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Who is the tight end you want in this game? George Kittle or Travis Kelce? Nick, who do you got? Like, not for fantasy, just football.
Well, I want both. I mean, they're phenomenal. This is 1A, 1B right here in the NFL right now, right? There's no other tight end that's even comparable to these guys. So I guess gun to head, give me Kittle because he's got a little bit of fresher legs, but I mean he also has a torn labrum. So no, give me Travis Kelce.
Thank you. Okay, so can I jump in real quick and just say that Kelce and Kittle are the 1 and 2 tight ends and half-point PPR anyway. And I know you said not fantasy football. We're talking regular football here, but there's a lot that coincide with one another, and that's a huge misconception where we're analyzing actual NFL data when we come up with these fantasy stats. So there's a lot of weight in where they finish in fantasy and how good they are in actual football. A different conversation could be had when we're talking about quarterbacks, but that's for another day. Kittle finished 25 points behind Kelce but played just 2 fewer games. So give them a little bit of credit there. They could probably have ended up pretty much the same had Kittle played all 16 games. They
Add
both
in the water
averaged,
game. Water game killed them.
Yeah, no, I mean they both averaged 12.9 fantasy points per game this season. But let's talk about current. Like, what have you done for me lately? Let's talk about playoffs. They've both played in 2 playoff games. I'm gonna give the edge to Kelce here, and this is why I like Kelce more, because he's been on fire in the playoffs, and Kittle has been playing with a torn labrum, as Nick pointed out. Kelce is the number 1 tight end in these playoffs, even with just 2 games. And he's averaging 20.4 points per game versus Kittle's 2.8 points per game. So Kittle has 4 receptions for 35 yards and no touchdowns, where Kelce has 16 targets, 13 receptions, 164 yards, and 3 touchdowns this playoffs. That's a difference of 40.9 points to 5.5. So it's not even close to me that Kelce is the clear favorite out of these 2 just because of the injury that Kittle's playing with right now. And clearly it's affecting him because he's not himself in the last couple of games in these playoffs. So it's Kelce for me.
To be a little devil's advocate here and go the Kittle way, you have to look at the game scripts too and look that San Francisco is just not passing the ball at all. He had 1 target the last game. And if they're gonna win this game, I feel like George Kittle have to play a big role, hurt or not. If he's not on his game, I don't think San Francisco can win this one. I think for me, if they're going to come out and be what they have to be to beat that offense of Kansas City, George Kittle has to play a big role with 8 to 10 targets. I don't see it happening otherwise. You can run the ball and shorten the game, but then, I mean, Kansas City can score 3 touchdowns in 3 plays. Not 3 plays, but 3 minutes.
So I'm going to just jump in here. Sorry, Matt. All 3 of you guys sound like you're all taking the Chiefs, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Hello.
We've
got a program here.
I can't believe this, guys. Screw talking about the damn tight ends.
The Chiefs just scored 50 points in a row. Twice.
How do you beat the Chiefs? How do you beat the Chiefs? You
doing something that San Francisco
run the ball. It's the same thing you beat Green Bay with. It's the same.
I know, but they have to run the ball and score over 50. Can they do that?
Wait, Nick, can you ask the question again?
How do you beat Kansas City?
You don't.
Yeah.
Ben, it's happened multiple times this year. And I want to talk about that, but we can keep talking about
No, keep going. Keep going. Get on that soapbox and stand there by yourself.
Prove your case.
How did the Patriots beat the Giants when the Patriots had the best offense in the league? How do teams with the best offenses, like Los Angeles against New England last year, go in and win the Super Bowl? To answer that question, they don't. You don't win with offense in the Super Bowl. Kansas City's great. Andy Reid's great. Eric Bieniemy's great. Like, this is all phenomenal. Whoop-de-doo. You go against the best defense in the Super Bowl, 9 out of 10 times, that defense is going to take home the victory. As much as we want to sit here and love the air attack and just want to get right on Pat Mahomes and we want to see his girlfriend all over the TV screen, it's not going to happen. It's going to be Salem running the show.
If you had to put all your money on the line for how many points the Chiefs are going to score in this one, what are you saying then? What are you predicting that the Chiefs are going to do offensively?
20.
Really?
20 to 28, San Francisco.
People are going to be pulling their hair out watching this game if they score 20. That'll be sad.
San Francisco will literally run the ball down Kansas City's throat. Kansas City will not be –
But the thing, though, Kansas City can score 40 points on 7 minutes of ball control.
Very true. When you don't have a defensive line with the defensive player of the year coming at you every single play. Now, the big thing is they're going to exploit Richard Sherman. And Tyreek Hill should have a big day. And that's their – obviously that's how they're going to win. They are not going to win by running the ball with Damian Williams. They're not going to win by dumping it off to Damian Williams. They're not going to win with Sammy frickin' Watkins. I can promise you that. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill have to exploit the defense of San Francisco. And how hard is it to exploit that linebacker trio? It's damn near impossible. The tight ends have a horrible day every single time they play San Fran. So now it's down to Tyreek Hill and Pat Mahomes. And if you're going to tell me that Pat Mahomes and Tyreek Hill are going to go out there and score 45 points, I'm just going to have to call you crazy in the Super Bowl. I just have to call you crazy. Obviously, I could be wrong, but NFL loves to repeat itself. And
I think it comes down to San Francisco getting to Pat Mahomes. Their line, I think they need to get to him, but I think Pat Mahomes is good enough to not even beat them all day, but just the couple of times they try to rush him and he beats them, he can do a lot of damage in very little success rate. So
And I think you underestimate the run defense of Kansas City, too. They're talked about like some schmuck group. They gave up 85 yards to Derrick Henry on the ground last week.
That's how you beat them. Their secondary is better than their run defense. Like, you have to beat them on the ground. And that's what San Francisco's best at. And what has Kansas City done both playoff games?
But they've outscored their opponent 79-24 after the first quarter.
And they haven't given up 100 yards on the ground yet.
79-24 after the first quarter. That's amazing.
Who have they played? Like, they played
Derrick Henry.
But Tennessee.
Deshaun Watson.
San Francisco lost 2 times this year, 3 times.
Pretty darn good run offenses, though.
Sure, great. That's great. But if you're going to run Derrick Henry for 200 yards every game and hope that that's why you're going to win, that's not going to do it.
But that's what San Francisco does.
But San Francisco has options. They don't have just Derrick Henry. But it's going to be Raheem Mostert. But Coleman's playing, right? Like, Coleman's playing.
But Nick, there's one thing that you're missing, right? So I believe the approach for the 49ers is going to be run the ball, establish the run. That's what has gotten them there. They're the second best rushing team in the league this season, right? Okay, so they're going to try and do that. However, there's a flip side to this. Mm-hmm. If Patrick Mahomes does what Patrick Mahomes does after the first quarter, because here's how I kind of see the Super Bowl unfolding. I don't know if we're getting ahead of ourselves, but hey, rabbit hole, right? So let's do it. I see it unfolding very similar to how the other 2 playoff games unfolded for the Kansas City Chiefs, which is, wow, they're going to lose this game after the first quarter. And then they press their foot on the gas and they don't let go. What happens when they get a 2-touchdown lead? The game plan for the San Francisco 49ers out the window. They cannot run the ball to keep Patrick Mahomes off the field successfully if the offense works out. I understand the defense. Great. They're a great defense. I understand that. But there's so many weapons on this team, on this Kansas City Chiefs team, where I don't find them completely struggling, where they don't gain a lead at some point in this game, which is going to throw San Francisco's plan out the window, and they're going to have to lean on Jimmy G and Deebo Samuel and injured George Kittle. When you look at every aspect of this game, and I'm not somebody who likes to fall in what the majority likes. I find myself going against it for some reason. It's just, I just put out a tweet earlier, and it was a poll. Who do you believe is going to win the Super Bowl or whatever? And Chiefs are winning like 75%, I think, right? So, and it's over 2,000 votes right now.
Polarizing poll there from you.
So, and that's one thing that usually has me like, no, you know what? No, I can see it going the other way. And I'm actually rooting for the 49ers. But if I'm honestly, that's my heart. That's what my heart's telling me. My head, though, like everything I'm looking at it when I analyze this game, I just don't see a way that San Francisco can successfully put together enough offense, especially with their main guy, George Kittle, hurt the way he has been hurt, and he's been completely ineffective the last 2 playoff games. He's not all of a sudden going to become this monster in the Super Bowl. He might have his best playoff game this year, but he's not going to be George Kittle of what we've seen this all season. He's hurt, and that plays a huge role in this game. And I just think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to exploit that eventually, and the game plan for the 49ers is going to fall apart.
But I think
you open the conversation with George Kittle or Kelsey, and you said, I think it comes down to George Kittle being injured, because they're not going to do what they did to the Packers, the 49ers. That's not going to happen. They're not going to, the Chiefs are susceptible to the run. Mostart's not putting over 200 yards on them. You need a big play guy, and their biggest big play guy is injured. I don't think that Deebo is going to, be able to make the big plays to kind of hang with Kansas City. Kansas City just makes those quick strikes. So I actually expect it to be a better game than maybe I've been leading on for this whole conversation. But Kansas City's just, the way they've been playing, it's hard to imagine that they can't open up a bit of a lead here, like Nate said, and just it kind of takes the best thing San Francisco does possibly away from them. If they're up, they almost have to continue running even if they're down. If San Francisco's down, they got to continue to run the ball because that's how effective they are. And I don't know if they'll be able to, in the Super Bowl, in that big spotlight, if they'll actually have the balls to do that or not. If they go away from what they do well, it could be a catastrophe. But
I've seen him done it before. Kyle Shanahan had gone away from the run before in the Super Bowl.
Oh, no, I know.
situation.
It's different. It's different.
I think
Chiefs,
like I said, I think we're underestimating the Kansas City run defense, but that's why I wanted to talk about Kittle in the beginning, because I feel like if he can have a Terrell Owens type Super Bowl where he's like, I'm hurt, I don't care, I'm gonna destroy you. This is gonna be a nail biter to me. And to be fair, I wanna jump in the chat here a little bit, because Matt, Nate, and me, we're kind of on the Chiefs side. Everyone in the chat is pretty much on Nick's side. Everyone's bringing up the Broncos, Seattle game. They're bringing up.
Let me jump in real quick. Exactly what I was going to say. Who was the last favorited team to win the Super Bowl?
Broncos.
And before that, like it's always the underrated team that wins the Super Bowl. It's every year. It's every freaking year. You have to go back like 12 years to find the last favorited team by Vegas to win the Super Bowl.
I don't know. The Patriots have been favored, I think. Almost
not to the
after
Rams.
The first two, I believe they've been favored every time they're in.
Not to the Rams. They were to the Eagles. And then
I think they have been.
And then you got to go back to like what? What was the last time before that?
I mean, they lost those two against the Giants, but I think they were favored at every other one in between and up until currently. They were favored last year against the Rams, were they not?
I thought the Rams were.
I thought the Rams were too.
I'm pretty sure the Rams were.
What about I just think that it's not always the underdog. It's not always. I think
a lot of the time it's the underdog lately.
But I think that the chat is saying not pass. They're saying offense versus defense, and bringing up the Broncos versus Panthers. They're bringing up last year with the Rams.
Let's also talk about that. You guys are saying that Kansas City might do the same thing that they have been doing. They might fall to an early lead and come back and throw 40 points in the second quarter. They've been doing that against the Houston frickin' Texans defense and the frickin' Tennessee Titans defense. I dare Pat Mahomes to go out there and try to score 4 touchdowns against the San Francisco defense in the second quarter.
Okay, I don't think any of us actually think that the Chiefs are about to put 50 up on the 49ers. I don't think any of us actually said that.
No, I don't.
I said it's going to be close. I just think the big plays. Kansas City has a lot of playmakers. They have a ton. San Francisco's down their biggest one. It's a close game. I think that's the difference.
And Andy Reid, when he gets time to plan, he can be sneaky.
Yeah. That's 100% true. That is 100% true. And to be all honest, this game's going to come down to coaching.
So if we go by coach to coach, who's got the edge?
Oof.
Andy Reid.
Quarterback and quarterback, who's got the edge?
Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes, for sure.
Tight ends, who's got the edge?
Pat Mahomes or Travis
Without
Kelce.
the injury, I'm going
Kelce.
Kittle.
Okay. Wait. Let me keep going.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, who's got the edge?
Kansas City.
Okay, man. I mean, just
The
I understand
defense, you can pretty much cover.
But the big thing, though, is San Francisco probably has the edge on the offensive and defense on the one that's line to line. I think San Francisco's the edge there, and that could end up being the big difference in the game, too.
Trust me. Guys, I don't have a dog in this fight, man. I want to see a damn good game, right?
You do now. You do now.
And I want my squares to hit. I mean, that's all I care about, right? So
that's all that matters, baby.
Right? That's it. I mean, if I make some money off of this game, I'll be happy. I'm good.
The Chiefs need this game to be fun. The 49ers need this game to suck.
Absolutely. Exactly. You nailed it. I mean, that's exactly it. But for me, I do want to see a great game.
Yes.
Please. As I sat here really going, because I don't have a dog in the fight, so I really haven't overanalyzed this game until you guys asked me to be on, and the subject was the Super Bowl. I really dug into these teams, and it's for me, it's not going to be as close as I would hope it to be. I mean, that's just, obviously, you can be wrong. We're freaking weathermen, right? I mean, that's what we do.
What's the line on this game right now? Is it still like 3? Did it not move much?
Ooh, no idea, actually.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Opened up 3.5 for the Chiefs, right?
It can't have moved more, much more than a field goal. I
wouldn't
say.
So.
Yeah,
I try to stay away from gambling-ish things.
Yeah, under 5, it's got to be.
I would have thought it would have stayed right where it is, to be honest.
When it comes
I mean, it might.
Just because San Francisco has a lot of fans more than the Chiefs, I'd assume, right?
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Is anyone looking this up, or
or
are we all just staring at each
we're
other?
staring? No, I'm staring at the chat because we have so many people joining in it. We have
Sweet.
Nicholas Carone coming in here as well, saying like he's on Nick's side as well. Melo's on Nick's side. John says the Chiefs speed is the only wild card. Fantasy Football Unlimited is just happy.
It opened at 1.5 for Kansas City. It's now sitting at just 1 for Kansas City.
Wow.
I think what Nate was doing earlier ties with just going through who we got ties perfectly into our next segment. We got 13 minutes left of this show, so I wanted to hit the price pick segments of picking over and under on all these players. So let's look into this week's price picks. So if you're tired of losing on DFS salary cap sites with our friends at Price Picks, you can turn that fantasy sports knowledge into cold hard cash. No sharks, no endless hours of research. It's just you against the projections. Just choose over or under correctly on a player's fantasy point prediction to win. Use promo code CSD. New members who sign up and make their first deposit gets free 2-pick entry to win $25 and 25% first deposit instant match. Price Picks really is daily fantasy simplified. And today we have a bunch of like head-to-heads for this game. So first up is the quarterbacks. Let's start with Patrick Mahomes and ask Nick as the first man. Let's not do the coin this time. Just stick with the coin master, but no coin. I don't have enough columns to document that.
All right.
Nick, we got Patrick Mahomes PPR scoring, 4 points per passing touchdown, 26 points, over or under. Will he reach 26?
Under.
Okay. I'm 26 is a pretty high scoring, but I've been under on Mahomes a little bit too much this playoff, and he just keeps burning me. I think even though it's a tough defense, I think he can score 26. Like I've been burned so many times of saying like, oh, it's difficult to reach these higher projections for Mahomes, and then he's just like, watch me throw 60 yards with a flick of my wrist and buy to your winnings. So I'm
picturing Mahomes like, actually like doing that too while he's throwing the ball.
Right? That's just how it feels. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna jump. I'm not gonna plant my legs, flick the wrist, 60 yards. And then Hill is just like deuces.
He's on his phone like Carl.
Yeah.
This is gonna be Patrick Mahomes as soon as he goes over 26. He's gonna do this. He's gonna be like 27. That's Patrick Mahomes right there.
And that's he just keeps burning me.
Yeah.
He just keeps burning me. Matt, what do you got? You got over under 26 for Patrick Mahomes this week.
I agree with everything you guys said, but I'm going to go with the math on this one and go the under, because sometimes even though things look great, like a 10-point line for the Ravens to win, doesn't work out because sometimes math is bad. So under for Mahomes, just because.
Nate?
Yeah, I mean, this NFL playoffs, man, this year in particular has been completely unpredictable. And but the truth is, at the end of the day, the two teams that belong in the Super Bowl are in the Super Bowl. So
100%.
For me, I'm going to go the over here. I believe he scores about 31 fantasy points, to be honest with you. So I'm taking the over here.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I really want this to be a good game, even though I have a birthday party I have to go to.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's born.
They're no longer your friend.
Are they friends? Because they're not friends.
That's my nephew.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nephew. He's
Just
4.
own him. You're saying that like it's a problem.
I'm turning
no.
into a Cowboys fan. I have a stake in this. What do you say, Nick?
Has a nephew who has a birthday at 6? Like all my nephews' birthdays are like noon. Like
Yes.
who has a 6th birthday party?
So the thing is, he's a huge football fan, thanks to me, and like that's all he talk about. So he's like, I'm gonna have a Super Bowl birthday party. I'm gonna have
Wait,
a Super
where do you
Bowl
live,
birthday
Carl?
party.
Party
where do you live?
Super Bowl wasn't on.
Yeah,
Where do you live, buddy?
I live in Atlanta.
Okay. So you're in the States. All right.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Oh, he's
That's
in
weird.
South Carolina. He's just football is all he talk about, and I'm the reason. I bought him Cowboys jerseys and helmets and stuff, and now he's like Cowboys.
That's fantastic. That's my boy too.
Yeah, you
I love
gotta corrupt him early.
Well, yeah, because my grandfather, or I should say his grandfather. I'm sorry, it's my father-in-law, but Patriots fan. I'm in New Hampshire, so everybody's Patriots fans around here, and I get all the crap for it. But the other day he said to my son Leo, he's like, "You're rooting for the Patriots, yeah?" This was like a few weeks back, and the Cowboys had already been eliminated, and he's like, "No, go Cowboys!" I'm like, "That's my boy. I love him."
Do it until you die. Jimmy
That's
Garoppolo,
right.
though, he used to play for the Patriots. He has a price
under.
projection of 18.
Segue.
Nate, over under 18 for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, let me just check my notes here. I'm going to go with the over. I'm going to say he scores about 25 fantasy points.
Jesus
And I think
Christ.
that he's
What do you
going
think
to
the score? Hold on. What do you think the score is going to be?
Yeah.
Wait. We're not getting there.
79 to 60.
Hey, we've got a program, okay? We'll talk about this, okay? Yeah. No, not that high. But yeah, 25 points for Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, do it.
Holy
Book it.
do you know how many points he got in the last game? And the game before that?
And he doesn't have George Kittle. I don't know if you knew that, but he
Yeah.
does.
He's going to be down by like 30, so he's going to have to get some garbage time stuff. So here we go.
They're gonna
25.
hand the ball over to Matt Breida instead of Raheem Mostert?
25 points.
I'm here for the 30-point comeback from Jimmy Garoppolo. That would be phenomenal if we get that second half, like freaking just heart like wrenching loss to the Chiefs. No offense, Chiefs fans, but come on, that would be fantastic to everyone who's not.
Jimmy Garoppolo would be down 31-3 just to show Tom Brady up by 3 points and come back and win in overtime.
I know. Text that. I don't know. Was that on the show? Did we even talk about that on the show? Or was that pre-show? I can't remember at this point.
Me neither. It's just a
Moving
blur.
on.
Matt, what do you got? Over under 18 points.
I go blind under for Jimmy Garoppolo all games. Don't even know don't need the number. It's always under.
Yeah, you've been pretty good with that. When I check the score, you've just been saying under on Garoppolo when I keep in track of stuff. I have Garoppolo for 14 with a ceiling of 23, which is not ideal. The Chiefs only give up 15.6 points on average to quarterbacks in general, so I'm going to have to go under on this one.
Yeah, under.
Under. Okay. So you're going under on both quarterbacks?
Yeah, definitely. But under. I don't know why you guys are thinking this game's going to be anything over like a 24-20 game. Like this game's going to be defense, and everyone in the world is going to be like, "Oh, but it's the Chiefs," and
Where are they from?
it's just like last year when people are like, "Oh man, the Rams are going to put 50 on the Patriots," and the Patriots will probably score 45 to keep up and then win at the end, 52-50. It's defense, boys. Defense wins championships year in and year out. It literally never fails.
But this is not a Belichick year, though, so at least we have hope of it not being
There
just
is-
a gridlock.
That's true. That there is a lot more hope for it to be a higher scoring because there is no Bill Belichick. But I will still take the under.
But so you're going under on Mahomes, under on Jimmy G, Damian Williams at 16 in PPR. Nick,
Over in PPR.
over in PPR. Okay.
And over on his 3 catches prop bet. He's going to get 5 catches.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going under on this one. I think he's going to land around 12.7 with 3 receptions. That's usually around what the Chiefs give up to running backs as well. 49ers, my bad. That's usually what they give up, and I have a lot of risk on him with 62%, so I'm going to have to go under on Damian Williams on 16. Matt?
Under. It's what the 49ers do. They stop running back, so under.
Yeah, I feel the same. Nate?
All right, so Nick, under?
No, I'm over.
You're over. Okay. Matt, you're under?
Yep.
Carl, under? Okay, over for me. Just because of the way I see this game unfolding, and trust me, I am not a Damian Williams guy.
Mm-mm.
I am an anti-Damian Williams guy. But in this offense, man, he is anybody in this position is pretty scary. So for me, in how I see this game unfolding, and I know Nick disagrees with me, but it's just the way I see this game unfolding, Damian Williams is probably going to get more carries in this game than he has all playoffs. So I got to pound the over here, but not like crazy. The over under 16, I have him about 18.
Damian Williams turns into the Hulk in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
It's going to trick everyone again.
But
Exactly.
this is,
Everyone but me and Nate.
But this game, like, their run defense is so darn good.
Nate, you're just over for everybody, right? I mean, the score is going to be 275 to
Almost.
200.
Almost. Pound the over, man. Let's
What,
go.
are you going over on Mostert at 16.5
Hey.
too?
Let me just say this. The Damian Williams 18 points that I'm projecting could be over via the pass, which is going to help Patrick Mahomes, right? So over. Let's go, man, all day. Why not? Yeah, okay, let's get to the next guy. Go ahead.
Mostert at 16.5?
I'm going to shock you. You guys ready?
Over. I'm just going to write it down before you say
No. Under.
What?
Under. Even though
think they're going to use more.
He has been the better running back. He really has. Between those two, he's been the better running back. But I think it was more about the carries he received. And again, same thing. The way I see this game unfolding, the 49ers are not going to be able to just hand off the ball to Mostert. So, and he's not a pass catcher. He had, 2 targets in the last 2 playoff games? So that's going to kind of destroy his value. So I'm going to take the under there, not by much. I'm going to give him 14. But 16 and a half, I'm going to go the under with Mostert.
Under on Mostert. Okay, I wrote over for you already. Matt, what are you
Correct
doing?
it and put under, please.
I do think this will be a close game, and I think that San Francisco will run regardless of game script. So they also said he wants to run with a hot hand, which I assume will still be Mostert, although they'll probably be throwing a lot more. Either way, I will take the over because, again, I don't believe Jimmy Garoppolo's got much in store for us, so it's on the shoulders of Mostert and an injured George Kittle to make it happen.
And I'm going to copy everything you just said. I agree with every word. Nick?
I think this game's going to be a lot more running and a lot slower than everyone in the world wants it to be. So I'll definitely be taking the over on Mostert at 16.5.
I figured that too. You did under on both the quarterbacks and over on the
it's going to be a great game, and everyone's going to be so angry, and everyone's going to be like, "This isn't what I signed up for. Where are the commercials?" That's going to happen.
Let's do a quick one with Travis Kelce at 17.5. I'm gonna go ahead and actually go under on Travis Kelce at 17.5. I don't think he's going to have that big of an impact. They're gonna have to limit him if they want to win this game, and of course they want to win this game. So they're like, who do we need to take away with 2 people, which has been difficult for other teams, but I still think the San Francisco 49ers can take away Kelce. So I'm going under at 17.5.
You don't think if they try to do that, they won't hurt them badly in other ways, though? I don't think you could afford to put that much attention on Kelce without paying for it.
Yeah, you're going to pay for it, and that's why I have over on Mahomes, and I'm going to go over on Tyreek Hill later, and probably Watkins as well, but Kelce,
spoiler alert, hold on.
I'm just
end the show. We already know Nate's score is 400 to 398.
Let me say my own score, please, Matt. Thank you.
Nick, what do you got on Travis Kelce at 17.5?
I think that's like phenomenal. I'd like to push this one. Actually, I'm gonna go instead of A or B, I'm gonna go C and go. That's right on the line, 17.5.
Right there.
Wow.
That's not how the
gonna
game
stop
works at all, though.
All right. So,
If he lands right at 17.5, I think we could give him something.
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
All right. I'll take under.
No, I'll put 17.5. 17.5.
17.4, he
Margin of
says.
error is literally 0. He has to land exactly at 17 points.
It's like roulette when you put it on the number, baby. I don't need the 36 other 35 other numbers and the double zeros and the red and black. Give me 2. I want it.
I'll tell you, it is
Roulette,
almost
you can't land on 17.55 though.
it is almost possible to predict stuff to the yard. Michael Gallup last year, I had him predicted for a deep shot to the left for a touchdown, and he got down on the 1 yard line. and I missed the projection by 6.1 points.
Dang. Game of
So
inches.
it is possible to be at 17.4 and miss this one, Nick.
That's all right. 17. He'll get 17.5. It's not a prediction. It's a guarantee.
Matt, what's your guarantee on Travis Kelce? Over and under on 17.5?
Over. I think that this will be like a second half thing. Kelce will be a monster in the second half, and I just think he's going to take over this game and kind of put it away. Maybe San Francisco starts to get a little momentum, and he's just like, no. So yeah, Kelce over.
Do the dance. Nate?
26 points
Holy
for Travis
shit.
Kelce. This is going to be a Super Bowl like none other, okay? It's going to be something that we're going to say after it happens, I want more Super Bowls like that. That was freaking fun. There's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. So
You're getting my hopes
let's
up.
go
I hope
over on
that'd be
Travis
great.
Kelce. 26 points. I just want to be very specific with the points I'm saying, so that way when it plays out, we can just B-roll this, and it'd be fantastic.
I'm putting over 26.
Over 26.
Well,
there
I
you
mean,
go.
over at 26.
Yeah, you're not 26 over 17.5. That'd be insane.
Yeah. George Kittle, then, how do you feel about him? I'm guessing you're not too excited at 16.5.
I'm going to go under for George Kittle, and I'm going to give
surprised.
him 11.3 points. 11.3. Under on George Kittle, for sure.
Oof, this one is close for me because, like I said before, if the 49ers are going to win this one, I think Kittle has to be involved. And I think he's the type of person who's like, oh, my body's breaking. F it. I'm going to put it on the line.
Let me just contradict that for a second, because he hasn't been in these playoffs, and they've won.
They haven't needed him to do that.
That is correct.
This game they will. So I'm going to go over on that one.
But
Nick?
his target counts in these games is almost unforgivable if he's healthy enough to get targets.
Yeah, but
right?
now he is. Now he is.
Oh, now his torn labrum is fixed.
It's
After
yeah.
2 years, it is now fixed.
Fantastic.
Nick, what do you got?
Why didn't George Kittle get surgery last offseason? Like, if it has been...
I thought you were about to say, why didn't he get it last week? He had a week off. It's just
He had 2 weeks off, man.
2
There was a
weeks, come on.
Bowl. Go get some surgery. 100% under. Like, George Kittle's not going to catch more than 4 balls, and that's going to accumulate to like 35 yards,
What-
maybe a touchdown. That's
What was
not.
the Panthers linebacker who arm looked like a football when they were in the Super Bowl? Help me. He had
Thomas
surgery.
Davis.
Yeah, he had surgery on his arm like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl.
It
or
was like a
something.
wrist though, or maybe it was his arm.
Oh, it looked stuff.
Yeah.
Matt,
a little
what do you-
easier when you're not having to catch the ball like Kittle, though.
True.
Get the club out there. That'd be great, though. He's just clubbing people on the way down the field.
If any tight end could do it, it's him. What do you got on him, Matt?
I think he's going to score 10.754 points. Getting specific like
Real specific.
Nice.
I'm
Just
gonna
going to round up. No, it won't round up. Hashtag math.
Nick's tail was just wagging when you said that. I don't know if you saw that.
I got a little excited.
No, but yeah, I'm pretty much with Nick, though. I don't see him catching many passes in this one. It's just, yeah, he's not going to be as involved, even though I'd love to see it.
I'm gonna toss out some real quick players here. We have 4 left, and I know we don't have much time left of the show, so I'm gonna be real quick with Tyreek Hill at 18.5. Nick.
Tyreek Hill, 18.5. My God, that's a lot. Over.
Over. Me, I'm going over. Matt.
He can get most of that in one play. Over.
Over. Nate.
Under 14 points for Tyreek Hill in this game.
What?
It's a Travis Kelce game. This is why Kelsey's
All right,
getting
hold on.
26.
But if the Chiefs are going to score 700 points, I mean, Sammy Watkins, is he going to get involved? What's going to happen?
Literally every time you've said their score, you've gone up like 300 points every time. So Tyreek Hill under 14, man, I'm telling you.
Holy. In Emmanuel Sanders 10.
Hey, I have Damian Williams for 18 and freaking Patrick Mahomes 31, Travis Kelce 26. I'm telling you,
Somebody has
Tyreek
to
Hill-
not get stuff.
Tyreek Hill can disappear in a game, and if I'm giving him 14 points, he's not completely disappearing. But he's not, I mean,
Just real quick, Nicholas in the chat, you said they're going to double team him. You mean they're going to try and double team Tyreek? I don't think that can be done.
Yeah.
He's faster than everyone on the field. He can disappear from a game. I do agree with Nate, but
Yes.
you're not double teaming this
No, I
guy.
think he means Kittle though.
Do you mean Kittle? I didn't know. It just popped up. I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, I think he's talking about George Kittle.
I wish I could see this chat. I can't see the chat.
Join the.
It's to keep stuff a little bit secret to make
okay.
me a little bit more important.
I wasn't authorized.
It's
That's
on
probably the
this
best
site
move.
called YouTube.com.
Oh, I'm not on that. I'm on Skype right now with you guys.
It's a little secret.
I only do one website at a time, guys. Sorry.
Emmanuel Sanders, 10 points. Nate the Great.
Over. He's going to get 11.
Oof, over. I got him for 10 exactly. I'm going over. Nick.
Over with 16.
Matt.
Yeah, over. If Kittle's not going to be involved, Debo and Sanders are going to have to carry the load. 10's not a lot. Over.
Sammy Watkins, 10 points again. Matt, what do you got?
It's like Jimmy Garoppolo, auto under on Sammy Watkins. Under.
Under, okay.
Auto under. I follow suit. I'm on auto under with him.
Under. Negative 600 points. No, I'm just kidding. 8 points for me for Sammy Watkins. So under.
Okay. I'm going over. Again, I have both Emmanuel Sanders and Sammy for 10 points, and their prize pick prediction is 10 points.
You say negative 300, was it?
Negative 300.
So that'd be 150 fumbles. What is negative?
Pretty much.
That's how the score keeps down. Everybody else is just scoring like crazy, and then
Right.
Sammy's just like, no.
He just screws up everything. Yeah.
It'd be 200 possessions per team.
Oh, Nicholas in the chat though, it did mean Hill. He said he thinks he's
yeah.
gonna double. Yeah.
All right.
See, I'm paying
Okay.
attention.
I think that's gonna be difficult though. Like, who's gonna run with him?
Nobody.
Yeah. Oof. He's.
Yeah, Richard Sherman might have a difficult time. Not that he's been shadowing, right? He hasn't been.
Oh, he never does.
Not that he can. I mean, no offense to Richard Sherman.
Oh,
But if it's Tyreek Hill, good luck.
He's the greatest player of all time. I don't know if you guys have heard this.
Oh my God. Just get this out of the way. Who's better, Richard Sherman or Terrell Revis? Please.
Wait, right
Dick,
now?
Dick Sherman.
Any day of the
Just
century.
kidding. I don't have I don't like Richard Sherman. So.
What? I love Richard Sherman, but if
does,
in this
yeah.
century, it has to be Revis at their prime.
Like, you can't compare stats because no one threw at Revis. It wasn't an option for you. It was just like, oh well, I guess Chad Johnson's not in the game anymore. But that was a thing. You know, that was obviously a thing like a week ago.
I'm 100% in agreement with you.
Okay.
I love Richard Sherman. Revis is better, but I love Richard
Same
Sherman.
here.
I think what you need to know about Richard Sherman is like, you love him if he's on your team, and if he's not on your team, you hate him. Just ask Seattle Seahawks fans who detest this guy.
But let me just say this: that interception he had, that last interception, it's just like that was like thrown to him. That was like right in his hands. He was kind of like, oh, look what I have. It's like it's there, you know. I mean, he as he turned around, he just ended up catching the ball. It wasn't like he made this unbelievable play when I watched the film.
No, I disagree. I think he was in the right spot, and the wide receiver wasn't in the right spot. I think Richard Sherman did a better job running that route than
But okay. But if you watch it though, he was not anticipating that ball to be thrown to him. He was not.
He was anticipating the wide receiver to be there. He was waiting for the wide receiver to turn left instead of right, and all of a sudden the wide receiver did the wrong thing. Sherman knew what was going to happen and what the quarterback was thinking. That is smart quarterback play.
And I gotta say, you as a Cowboys fan, you should have more respect for an interception. Like our cornerbacks, they're like, oh,
They
here's
just don't.
a football.
They
They're
just
like, bat it down.
You should have a lot of respect for throwing flags on plays that shouldn't have had a flag thrown. But that's different.
That's caught it.
Hey Nick, who's your favorite team?
The Lions.
Oh wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Well, you're rooting hard for the 49ers. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
You're going real hard for the 49ers.
Let's be honest, it's because it like I just feel like everyone in the world has fallen into this like NFL. It's the same thing everyone falls in every year going into the Super Bowl, and it's just they're the best. They're gonna win.
Nick, but this is the year, buddy. This is
Right, yeah.
the year.
50 years later, baby.
That's right. This is the year.
And then you have to have.
You know what? Nick,
ahead,
you make
Matt.
a good point, and I'll be genuinely shocked again. You know, I think the Chiefs are going to win this one, and if it doesn't happen, like you say, I'll be genuinely shocked again. Next year, same story. I'll still be genuinely shocked again. It'll keep happening.
And then if you're gonna have a talking head show, you have to have somebody who just stands his ground and defends his opinion. Otherwise, you can just phone it in. Somebody who never phones it in is Deebo Samuel, our last player. Nick,
Segue.
over under 14
This
points.
This guy.
Friggin' love you, man. Segue.
Give me the under 14 for Debo.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm going under. Matt.
I said I had to go over on Debo and Sanders because I went under on Kittle, but I also went under on Garoppolo, and there's only so many points to go around, so under.
Under. Nate, you're gonna close us out with this one with the price pick segment.
Over for He's going to get 16 fantasy points. We're talking full PPR, guys. Okay, let's not forget that. Okay, so I had to take that into consideration. There's more points scored in full point PPR. Shocking, I know, but that's why I've got a lot of overs here, because to me, in full point PPR, these are reasonably low projections. So that's why I went over with a ton of them.
We've actually been saying that all season. This site has been pretty low. We had to look it up once, so we thought it might have been half PPR, because their lines do seem to be a little low on people for full PPR.
So there you go. There you go.
But that's how they.
You're welcome.
That's how they get you, though.
That's how they get
exactly how they get you.
Yeah.
Then they get people thinking, oh, everyone's gonna go
exactly. And then, like, if you look at my projections over the year, I tend to be a little lower than a lot of people, especially when it comes to quarterbacks. And people be like, oh, he's gonna score 32 points against this team, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening. He's gonna score 17, and then he scores 22, and who's you don't want to overvalue stuff. I mean, maybe like I've been talking up the Chiefs like crazy today, so I'm kind of bullshitting here. Yeah. But
the Ravens, maybe it was a good show.
Yeah, I want to thank
Super Bowl predictions. Super Bowl predictions, everybody, real quick.
Chiefs. 30-27. Can that even happen?
Chiefs 35-17.
49ers. Okay. 49ers. We'll say 28-27.
Wow, that would be a phenomenal Super Bowl. However, I'm gonna go with Chiefs 38-24. So it's not gonna be as close as we want it to be.
Yeah, you might need to change some of these to under.
No, 38-24, man, that's a lot of points. That's 62 points, right?
380 to 240. That's fine.
Well, I mean, if I add a 0, 380 to 240, that's right.
I don't know what game I want to see more. Because Nate, you have the same scores I do with a field goal each, or I don't know if I'd rather see Nick's score. I don't know.
I think I would. I would rather see that. I'd rather be wrong. Trust me. I want to be wrong about this game, but I'm just when I really break it down, I'm sorry. This is how I see it unfolding.
I'm kind of all in on the 30-point Jimmy G comeback at this point. So,
but if you could guarantee, I'm not saying any point line, but just guarantee that both teams will reach 20 points. You don't care about who wins or loses if the game is close at the end or anything. If both teams could get 20 points, would you take that right now?
Yeah. I mean, that's exciting.
Yeah,
that's
exciting. Is it though? Is 20 each exciting? Is that
in the
bar?
Super Bowl? In the Super Bowl, yes, we want to see people score points. I mean, last year's Super Bowl sucked. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it did.
It really. I mean, what was the final score? I'm sorry.
13-3.
13-3.
Oh, that game was trash.
Yeah. Everyone fell asleep in that game. Nobody wants that. You've got a lot of
You fell asleep in the Atlanta game too, with them blowing them out. Another way to lose viewers is a blowout. Is the Seattle and the Denver game a few years ago. But then the Atlanta one obviously did not turn out to be a blowout.
Well, hey, that 38-24, it could be 24-24 heading into the fourth quarter, and then the Chiefs just score 2 touchdowns in the fourth. So it still could be, have you in there. So.
Yep.
Did we see any asinine fake punts or fake anything in this one?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think this game calls for that. I think they're just gonna.
I disagree. You got the two most creative fucking coaches out there. They're gonna come up with something weird. I hope fake punt, but you'll see a Philly special or something.
I think they're just gonna give it their best effort.
I would like to thank everybody in the chat for joining us here today. Mello, Nicholas Carone. We had Fantasy. What was the name? Fantasy Football Unlimited. John McGlynn joining in. Y'all been fantastic. I want to say thank you to Nicholas Carone for saying that he's my favorite YouTuber about me. So I'm going to take that to heart. Thank you, Nicholas. And I want to say thank you to Nate for coming on this show. You've been a fantastic guest. Thank you so much for coming on. If you want to plug your content one more time for everybody, I would love that.
Sure, you can go ahead and check me out on Dominate FF on Twitter. I'm there all the time. I'm obsessed. I've got a problem, to be honest with you. And you can check my articles and fantasy content over at fantrax.com. And be on the lookout for the Fantasy Football Black Book 2020 this year, because I'll be in that as well.
It's a great book.
Thank you.
Matt, if people want to find more of you, where can they do so?
I'm everywhere, man. You can find me on Twitter at Matt Williams, MATTWI77IMS. I'm on here. I'm on the Turn 2 podcast for anyone who likes baseball. Some people, don't like it in the fantasy football circles, but it's coming. It's coming for you all.
Is that a round ball in that sport?
Yeah, I believe they smaller round ball, kind of like soccer, but with seams.
Wait, calm down.
I'm also on the Daily Blitz pod with my boy Nick here, and DF Statistics DFS for football.
Nick, round us out. Where can people find more of you?
Under a rock. But if you don't want to look there, on Twitter, at Nick Faber NFL. In regards to baseball, thank God the NL is getting the DH. It is about freaking time we actually get baseball happening. I basically put it out where I don't want Matt Prater under center on third down. I don't want Max Scherzer batting in the 7th inning. So I'm glad that happened. I'll end us on baseball.
Fantastic.
I might watch again. I might watch baseball again. Thank you for that.
That didn't actually happen. He made that up. The NL the DH is not actually in the NL.
Bummer.
Next year, it's not happening.
They said they're trying to make it happen, but the owner, they got to get 75% of the NL owners, and that probably is not going to happen.
You know what's going to happen, though? More CSD Fantasy content coming out this weekend here on the YouTube channel. You can also find this show on csdfantasy.com, where you can also find even more fantasy content with usability charts coming up for running backs, wide receivers, and quarterbacks in the next week or so. You can check out Making the Leap for Mecole Hardman here on the YouTube channel and learn why he's going to be fantastic when they cut Sammy Watkins ahead of next year. But signing off for the Fantasy Rabbit Hole is Nick Faber, Matt Williams, our guest Nate Hamilton, and CSD Fantasy. See you all next time.
Peace.
No one heard that.